Hey guys, we are live again. This is part two of this video. Let's hope that it's working. I'm not too sure if it is, but if you are here, definitely say hello so that I can see you and connect with you. I am using Ecamm instead, so let's see if we'll have a different experience. Still streaming through Restream, but yay, Carol says she hears me. Okay, great. So I'm gonna do a bit of a recap from what we did last. When I replayed the live I did just now, I can hear it, but I'm sure that you guys probably just couldn't hear me live because even my mom texted my boyfriend and said, "Hey, we can't hear you." Hello, everyone. Hello. We are here for a bit of a lunchtime session. We're going to be really quick. It's going to be 30 minutes. I was on live before. So if you were watching that previous video, definitely connect to this one. I'll put part two in front of it so that you can see. And yeah, let's get into a bit of a recap. I'm hosting a repurposing masterclass for the people who are in the Start Shoot Grow Video Academy and some of the people who are in the Confidence Bootcamp. And so I wanted to take you guys behind the scenes to see what that is like, right? So what's all of this craziness like, Zaylee? How do you map out a masterclass? So I am actually going to show that to you guys. I'm going to show you a bit of my process and what that looks like on the back end. If you are watching and if you were here before, both say hello. And if you are on the replay, you know, hashtag replay crew, you know how we do it around here. So I am actually going to get into it. So let's dive in. I'm mapping out a masterclass. And so, like I said, this class is happening on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. And I'm just showing you guys how I'm mapping this class out. So take notes because this is gold. Before I dive in, let me tell you a little bit about masterclasses. They are absolutely awesome. It's a great way to validate your online course idea. They have a lower barrier of how much goes into them. It's a great way to test an idea and just see the outcome. And I'm going to just show you guys like what that process is like for me when I am actually creating. So here's the cool thing. Every time I'm mapping out a masterclass, I need to keep at the forefront of my mind, who is this for? Right? So who is this masterclass for? And I like keeping it at the top of my page. And for those who don't know, I'm using Notion. I'm going to do some more Notion tutorials because it's actually really cool, especially for people that are planning and creating online courses and digital product ideas. So let's get into it. I keep my people at the forefront of everything that I do, right? So because I love creating learning experiences for my people, especially when I'm teaching master classes and hosting live sessions, I love creating a good vibe. But in order to do that, you have to actually know, hey, this is, who I'm catering to, and this is what I want to share. So I do a good outline, a good planning, and I get everything out of my brain. And so in order to repurpose my content, what I make sure that I'm doing is I map out at least 3 possibilities of people that might be attending, right? So here you can see I have people who are starting with their video content creation process and people who are already or who already have a wealth of content but have no idea how to repurpose it and put it into different platforms. Let me just check to see if you guys are with me because listen, I don't know what happened just now, but we're here and we're rocking out. Hey, Cassandra. Hello, everybody. Let me know if you're here. Let me know if you're watching. Hey, Shaka. Hey, Suzanne. Yes, all of my people. And so what I like to make sure that I do is I have a good introduction. And in that introduction, I like to map out what we're covering. But I do have a potential outline as well. So there are some things that, I put into a list that I kind of want to either brief over or dive deeper into. So you see my potential outline above, underneath my who is this for? Who is this masterclass for? And so in my potential outline, I have a few things. I have how to create content that satisfies your goals as a business owner. You guys know that I cater to business owners. I want to help you show up so that you can make more money, definitely create more of an impact and build a relationship with your people, right? It's definitely important. But yeah, so how to create content that satisfies your goals as a business owner without missing the mark. And if you didn't watch a live stream that I did on Friday, past Friday, definitely head over to the YouTube channel because I gave so much good info about just goal creation and how to approach your goals as it pertains to your business. I spoke about why I had to really shift a few things in my business as it pertained to being successful. And so I shared mistakes that I made, before or previously in my old business, but what helped me to actually shift into the new business, right? Which definitely happened over a span of over 10 years. So it has some good info in there. But that's one thing that I'm really passionate about, making sure that you're connecting with your goals as a business owner. The second thing I'm covering is how to organize your content so that you're not completely lost. When it comes to content creation, I believe in organization. Organization is so important. I feel like we don't think about it enough. And so it leaves us completely confused, right? Also, how to organize your content. How to use Notion or Trello for organization. Right now, I'm using Notion. And so now inside of the Start, Shoot, Grow Academy, we're focused on really using Notion moving forward because it's so much easier for us on the back end. And it's really helpful for you guys to be able to have a whole searchable resource of templates and worksheets and things that you can go through. And so I'm showing how I use that for content creation, and I'll be giving you guys a good sneak peek of, and I showed this in the first video, my editorial calendar. If you are in the Start, Shoot, Grow Video Academy, you have a template so that you can create this yourself as well, right? But it definitely has a lot to do with us understanding how we repurpose. That's the cool thing about being in the academy. I give you all of my templates and things for organization so that your content creation process is more streamlined, right? And so I'm even going to make a masterclass template, which definitely is going to look a bit different from this one, but I wanted to share this anyway. So I have my potential outline, right? And then you can see how to streamline the process of your content creation to make things easy, and definitely covering tools for execution as well. So I did an initial brainstorm of this class in Workflowy, and I tell you guys all the time, I love two really good tools. I love Workflowy and I love Notion. And the reason that I love these two tools so much is because I can actually brainstorm in Workflowy, like give bullets to what I want to complete or what I want to do, and then head into Notion and actually type it out and map it out. So I don't know what tools you guys are using for organization. Leave them down in the comments so that I can know. Are you using Google Docs? Are you using Evernote? Like, what do you use to get your contents out? Or are you using nothing currently, which is totally fine as well? Or are you a pen and paper girl? Because that's totally fine as well, right? All right. So now I want to share just like the format or the flow or the formula. And this could have definitely been a paid video, guys, because I'm actually showing you the back end of what I do. But I'm here to help, and I'm here to make sure that you guys are putting the things that your expertise, your thoughts, all of the goodness that you've gathered over the years. I want to make sure that you're getting this out of yourself, right? Taking that content out and definitely creating a really good formula for getting people into your your customer journey, whether it would be free content and then into paid content, because that's really what matters, right? So now I am mapping out my introduction. I'm keeping my key learnings at the top here because I want to make sure that I'm covering them, right? So you can see here I was in the middle of typing workflows and techniques for breaking down your content, right? I obviously can't type live, right? Breaking down. See, what did I tell you guys? Lord. And then I want to cover tools. So we are going over tools of the trade for content repurposing. So I'm going to dive deep into all of these things on Thursday. so excited. But I also want to make sure that I'm not completely doing overkill, because obviously masterclasses are a specific time, right? So we're keeping it nice and concise, but really meaty. We want really good information in there. And so these are the things that I'm definitely going to dive into. And obviously, as I go and as I create, because guys, this is just the bones of it, I'm going to add so much more goodness into it, right? So like I said before, in the first video, I'm covering what is repurposing, why repurpose, but these are my key takeaways. So here, this is the key takeaway. This is the thing that I want that person to walk away with, right? A really good understanding of repurposing. I want them to walk away with why it's essential. And I also explained before that these are, if this class wasn't already paid for, meaning that people weren't already in the class, I would have also actually used these two topics at the top here for marketing, because these two things would have helped people to understand why they specifically need the class, right? And then understanding social media platforms, knowing what each platform is best for. I think a lot of people, I mentioned this before on the first live that nobody heard, that people always want to be on Instagram, not knowing if Instagram is the best platform for them, right? And so that's something that I'm going to cover also. So I'm going to make sure and I highlight that, because that's a key takeaway that I definitely want to dive into. And understanding your key takeaways helps you expand 3 to 5 bullet points of the goodness that you are going to teach, right? Let me know in the comments if this is helpful. When you guys are commenting, I can tell that you're possibly hearing me, which is how I found out that you guys weren't hearing me 15 minutes into my first live. But let me know that you're here. Let me know that you're with me, and let me know that this is helpful for you, or if this is helpful for you in any way at all, right? And so, also, I want to cover the most important part of your repurposing process. And I think this is a part that a lot of people miss, but we're going to dive deep into it, and understanding how it can actually work for your business. We are also going to dive into, like I said before, workflows and techniques for breaking down your content. And this is where I am going to double down on the editorial calendar, right? And why that is so helpful, especially as it pertains to consistency and projecting, as it pertains to your goals, especially your business goals. So we're going to be covering that. And even as I'm talking, lots of the things that I wanted to cover at the top here, because I have a masterclass pertaining to this already, right? But obviously, everything I talk about really ties into a bigger picture, right? And this is also inside of a masterclass already. And so I can touch on it and then guide my people into that masterclass as well, right? So that is the cool thing about it. Cool, right? And then I'm definitely covering Notion, and how to streamline your process, right? Which is, what I have here. So this over here, the key learnings, is just a more detailed aspect of, what that potential outline would be like. So that's why we put that potential there. Sometimes we add things, and it's really about making sure that I'm giving you guys digestible content and I'm not giving you too much. Right. Cassandra, this masterclass is going to be on Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. So I am really giving you guys all the tools that you need in order to just easily get this done. Right. I want you guys to be able to streamline your content. Content is key, guys. I can't explain how important content is, and just making sure that you're mapping out your content and then distributing it correctly, right? And then we're going to dive into tools. And you guys know that I have my essential list of tools that I am going to be covering. And when I came up with this list, I really thought about how you can use these tools in different ways and how to really get a bang for your buck as it pertains to these tools, right? So I'm only covering tools that you're definitely going to need, and I'm making sure that those tools are multifunctional and you're able to also, on top of that, you're able to also what am I trying to say, guys? Oh my gosh. Multifunctional and affordable. Jeez. Whew, couldn't get that out. All right. So, my essential list of tools, and I'm going to do walkthroughs for these. And then, as I'm crafting this, I also want to make sure that if I don't get into walkthroughs, that I host the walkthroughs in the platform so people can watch them over and over. Right. So that's something that I always like to think about as well. How can people actually really get the best out of the content or the classes that I am creating? Right. So that's a little note for me that I'm going to put here. And I'm probably just going to remind my team of that. Like, hey, guys, we probably need to make sure that this is something that, we can host in the platform. And the other thing that I would definitely map out here is what templates or worksheets I'm giving to my people, because that's really important to me. Like, I want you guys to be able to then move through that content. So obviously I need to break down things. So I need to break down the monotony. So that's why I love using Notion, because you can add color, you can add so many different things. You can even add a really cool playlist to whatever you're creating. Right. And yes. So, okay. The other thing is templates and worksheets. And I already know that I'm going to walk through the template of my editorial calendar, right? And I need to make sure that you guys know exactly where this is and how you can duplicate it. So I am going to put here, provide links for walkthrough so that people can walk through this with me. And I need to think about what other worksheets that I need to create as well. And the cool thing about this is I can actually in here make this into a checklist so that we know that it's part of a to-do list and we need to get that done, right? So this is what I love about Notion, guys. And I'm going to just make this bullet points so that we know exactly so when I get into my intro, and I'm kind of creating it as it would pertain to getting it into Canva, right? Because we're going to be doing a bit of screen share for education. So when I do this, I'm also making sure that I'm covering this as I'm introducing the class. So I'm mapping it out with that framework or format in mind. So understanding repurposing is definitely on the list. Repurposing techniques, understanding platforms for repurposing, and tools for repurposing as well. So that's just the main, like, what I'm going to introduce that we're learning. But obviously when we get into the fullness of it, which is why I have my key learnings mapped out here, we're going to get into a bit more. Now, here is where I am going to actually expand, right? So I'm going to expand on each point as it pertains to getting this done. So I'm going to call this point 1, and we're going to make sure that that is a good heading. And I'm going to just make sure that I'm getting all of these right in place, because I want to make sure that I'm able to walk through them or work through them so I can expand, right? So here, I'm going to expand here. So I'm just putting placeholders, right? Just give me 1 second because I'm literally doing this with you guys live, right? I don't know where that P went. Okay. And so I'm just going to copy point and paste it because I am going to make sure that I have at least 3 to 5 points, right, that I can dive into for each. So this is how I kind of expand what I'm doing, right? Then we're going to get into social media. Oh yeah, Dominique said, I would love a masterclass on how to outline and map out the process using Notion. Yes, Dominique, I'm definitely teaching that as a masterclass for sure. So I'm going to teach a masterclass on Masterclasses, and this would actually be part of it. So definitely keep an eye out for that for sure inside of the academy. If you're already signed up, then you will already automatically have access to it. So Dominique, you are all good. So, oops, I'm here paying attention to the comments, but also trying to get this thing done at the same time. So understanding social media platforms. And I even showed you guys this before. So Dominique, go copy your editorial calendar. I will be walking through it. It's already in Notion for you. So I will actually show you guys the back end of mine and how we actually use it. But this is where we have our main editorial outlets. So we're very aware of where content needs to go out to, right? So I'm going to be sharing that with you guys, but I'm also going to be breaking down those platforms in depth so that you know exactly where you need to, hold on, guys, where you need to be posting and where you should not be, putting a lot or may not have to put a lot of focus on, just so that you guys know. I want to make sure that you guys are aware of things like these. Like I said, this is a bit of a lunchtime learning because I usually do not go live this early, but I'm like, let me just, share a bit. It might be helpful for someone to see just the back end of this, right? So most important, and then I'm going to go into workflows and techniques. So this is really the class, and I'm going to, then when I'm done mapping it out here, I am going to add it into Canva, right? And I already have my template here and ready to go, so that I just have to take this information and make it more visual and digestible, so that it's easy for you guys to actually just follow along, right? So this is really how I go about diving into mappings and things of that of the sort. So I'm just adding points here, just for now, but I'm also going to go in depth and just be sure to actually map out what those points are. So you can see how this is starting to take a bit of a shape. Right now, for me, I don't like documents that are super long. So sometimes I shorten it in Notion, just so that I can easily just type things out, right? Because I like to kind of see what I'm doing, kind of while I'm doing it, if that makes sense. So if I was typing about understanding social media platforms, I want to still be able to kind of see and reference, because my class is going to be definitely stacking one on top of the other as it pertains to the information that I'm providing. You're going to have to, follow along closely so that you can get the full spectrum of it all, right? So now we have all of this mapped out so that we are able to kind of flow as it pertains to the class itself. So I'm super excited. So now I have all of these things in front of me, and it just gives me good, juicy context as it pertains to what needs to be done, right? So I can look at this and see that. And so another thing I would do is probably provide the slides so that people actually have access to the slides. So all of these things still need to be done. So worksheets are definitely going to be in Notion. And we have to also remember to export the PDF. So the cool thing about this is when I do things like these, my team has access to it. Gina already woke me up this morning and she was like, what's going on? Like, where is the outline for the class? And I'm like, well, wait. It's coming. So she's already waiting for this. So we could, the cool thing about it is when you take your brain out of your own brain, I always talk about that. We leave a lot of info inside of our brain. We don't think that, first of all, that's a lot. Like just keeping those things in your head for a long time is a lot. The second thing is, hello, if you get it out like this, your team can be totally in alignment with what you are doing, and you don't have to do this yourself. And even though you are doing things solo for now, it's a good habit to get into so that when you do grow and start to hire on a team, they can see like what has been going on in the business rather than you're keeping this inside of yourself. And for the pen and paper people, because I love me some pen and paper as well, that is totally fine. And what you can do is when you map it out on pen and paper, you can bring it into the digital world so that they can have access to it, especially if your team is remote. Like my team is remote. They're not here with me, right? So that's, just a few things. Are you guys keeping up with me? I just want to know so that I know that this made sense, like going live and doing this. And what I'm going to do is just put some numbers to this so that we know where we are as it pertains to the whole process of it all. Right. For now, if I was launching this, I can take these points and totally make content out of them. But that's a whole other video, guys. But this is the kind of thing that I geek out on and the kind of things that I want to share. But yeah, so let me know if this was helpful in any way. If you are interested in joining the waitlist and getting access to all of these things, make sure that you are signed up for the Start Shoot Grow Video Academy waitlist. I put that waitlist inside of our description inside of the description so that you can see it and have access to it. And let me know how you liked this kind of session. It's a bit of a lunchtime learning, 30 minutes, of just back end and behind the scenes of things. I know sometimes you guys just want to see like what it looks like on the back end doing something, and this is what that would actually look like. So here I'm going to just add my outro. And if you guys know any format of anything that I do, I love having a good just recap or summary of what I've covered. So I want to put recap or summary, meaning that I'm reminding people of what they've possibly learned. And so we're going to make sure to type that out, right? And more than likely, here's a really cool thing. More than likely, it is based on what you said you were covering in the intro. So I'm just going to, remind people of what they've learned in the whole process of it all. And then, usually what you would do is probably give a call to action. And so for me, I know that the people in here are in the academy, right? Ooh, where's the C, guys? Are in the academy. So I would more than likely share what we are going to be up to next, or for the people who aren't in the academy that are going to have access to this class, I will be sharing what's next, or when we're meeting next for academy members. And then for the people that are not in the academy, I am going to share what am I going to share, guys? Oh, join the waitlist. If they want to join the academy the next time we open up and they want to know first, that's what I would be doing. So you would be actually putting your own, what do you call it, waitlist here. And guys, these classes are always so fun. So it's like the highlight of my week to teach this class. Like I said, this is just an outline. I'm going to be adding way more juiciness to it. But yes, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me and mapping out this full masterclass. Thank you for coming back. If you came back before, I appreciate you so much. And if you have any questions, leave them down below. I'll definitely be checking the comments. I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.